Alrighty, here we are. This is the center of all evil right now. The last remaining bread. We've been exorcising all the chametz from our homes. It's like so evil right around Pesach. We're trying to get rid of it. You can't eat chametz, you can't see chametz, you can't own chametz. Like, what's the deal? Why? This rye bread here? My kids love it. We make sandwiches all the time. What's so bad? What did leaven ever do to you? What did leaven ever do to you? Why do you gotta hate on the leaven? That's what we're gonna discuss today. We're about to enter into Pesach. Of course, Pesach is all about the matzah versus the leaven, and it's matzah 1, leaven 0. It's shut down every year. People right now are like getting ready to get rid of the last crumbs of chametz from their home as if it's got some kind of deadly toxins. What is so bad about the leavened bread? Alrighty, here we go. A couple ideas. Thank you so much. Okay, here we go. Now we're with the good guys. We're sitting here, we got the wine, we got the matzah. It's almost the Seder for me. So matzah is what we're all about on Pesach. Chametz is the big bad no-no. What's the deal? I want to share with you two ideas. Idea number one. What is the difference between matzah and chametz? So I want to share with you an idea from Rabbi Moshe Wolfson, who's an amazing rabbi who lives in New York. He says the following: what is the difference in the ingredients between chametz and matzah? I've got two little bowls over here. I got flour and water in one, I got flour and water in the other. One becomes matzah, one becomes chametz. What ingredients exactly did I add to the one that becomes chametz? And the answer is, all that I add is time. If you have the flour and the water and you quickly work it and you turn it into matzah, it comes out like this. If you let it sit there and you let it rise, it becomes chametz. Chametz bad, matzah good. What's the difference between them? Time. Pesach is the holiday of redemption. It's a time where not only did our forefathers redeem themselves, not only did God redeem the Jewish people from the slavery that they were going through, but it's a time where every single year we try once again to redeem ourselves from the slavery that we put on ourselves. All those negative self-beliefs, the Yetzer Hara, the idea that goes into your head and says, no, I can't. I'm never going to be able to do this. I can't have a relationship with my parents. Prayer doesn't work for me. All those negative phrases that enslave us and keep us just exactly where we are. Passover is the time to get out of them. The thing is, you'll never get out of affliction if you have the added ingredient of time. The ingredient of time kills redemption. If you are willing to work quickly at something, alacrity, like you work on the matzah, you have an idea, you put the flour and the water together, the inspiration and the action together, and you bake it, boom, you got redemption. You get to become a really big person. If you say, yes, I want to move it, I want to make my Shabbos more special, I want to make my life more beautiful, I want to have more of a relationship with God in my life, more of a relationship with my children, with my parents, with my brothers and sisters, with my community members. But then you say, but I'm gonna let in a little while, maybe after the tax season, maybe in the summertime I'll have more time. You add the ingredient of time and all of your redemption melts away. You've got chametz. That is why chametz is bad, matzah is good. That's idea number one. Idea number two. Idea number two is like this. There's actually another thing that is the difference between chametz and matzah. You see, if I were to open up a roll right now, as a matter of fact, let's open up a roll. Hold on. Okay, so idea number two. What is the difference between chametz and matzah? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to open up a piece of bread. I love this. These are onion rolls. They're really amazing. They're delicious chametz. But if you open up an onion roll, what you're going to see here, I want to zoom in for a second, is you'll see there's lots of tiny little holes, like almost tiny little air pockets. Because the difference between chametz and matzah is that during the process of leavening, the chametz gets filled up with pockets of air. That's what happens. The yeast is munching on all the little grain, and it produces CO2. It breathes out CO2 like us, but the CO2 gets trapped in the dough, and then therefore just like fills the dough up with pockets of air, and then the dough gets really, really big. So what's the difference between the flat matzah and the big, fluffy chametz is a lot of hot air. It's arrogance. Arrogance is hot air, where you think you're more than someone else, or you think that you're greater than you are, and you have a puffed up sense of superiority, an ego. That stands in the way of redemption. If a person is humble, they say, wow, I've got a lot to work on. Let's go to it. Let's make it happen. Let's make our lives great. If a person's filled up with ego, they say, I've got nothing to fix. I've got nothing to work on. Like a certain politician whose name might rhyme with Ronald Bump. Okay? He says, I've got nothing to apologize for. You're never going to find redemption if you're so filled with ego, if you're so filled with hot air that you think you're perfect. When it comes time for the holiday of redemption, which is Pesach, we say, we don't want this. We don't want a lot of hot air filling you up. We want to go down to the bare, basic human being. Humble, real, ready to work on himself. Chametz, puffed up, arrogant, not going to work. Matzah, ready to go. Those are two ideas on why we love matzah and why chametz for 8 days a year is the really, really bad guy. Thank you and have an amazing Pesach.